Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today just to have a look at these decks. I haven't got a lot of money at the moment for buying new decks, or certainly indie decks, anything expensive, but I do enjoy sort of looking at eBay and Vinted and such like, trying to find decent sort of second-hand decks or decks that I'm interested in. And you will have all seen me playing with the Robin Hood Tarot a lot, which I just can't even begin to say how much I love. And what a good buy that was. I think it cost me about £15 second hand, and it's one of my really favourite decks. And in the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, I've also found in good used condition on eBay the Hanson Roberts tarot deck and the Connolly tarot deck. Excuse me. So I thought what would be nice, because these were all released, these were all printed around a similar time, so I thought it might be nice just to compare them, because they're quite similar in some ways. I haven't actually had them all out on the table and looked at them all together yet, but they all give me sort of similar vibes. So I don't know whether there's something you might find interesting, but that's what I want to do. So I'm just going to pause the video and get them all out. So I put them all back in order for this purpose, which takes a long time, doesn't it, to put 3 decks all back in order. So yeah, the little Hanson Roberts deck came with this little book, the Essential Book of Tarot, which is quite a cute little book actually. And I believe that the Robin Wood Tarot deck is copyrighted to 1991. And this was hand painted by Robin Wood. I still want to say Robin Hood. Robin Wood. She's an artist, a Wiccan, a pagan, and she hand painted this beautiful deck here. The Hanson Roberts tarot deck, I believe, is copyrighted to 1989. I should probably put them in their order, shouldn't I? So I think this is the earliest deck, 1989, followed by the Connolly Tarot of 1990, and then the Robin Wood Tarot of 1991. So I think that that's how it goes. I wasn't that aware of the Hanson Roberts Tarot, but when I googled it, it's a lady called Mary Hanson Roberts, and she illustrated this. She's an artist. I think she also illustrated a deck called the Whimsical Tarot, which I've not seen before. The Connolly Tarot, as I said, is copyrighted to 1990, so we've got 89, 90 and 91. And the Connolly Tarot is a sort of brightly coloured tarot deck. Let's take this off here actually, so you can see. And we've got 2 little cards on the Hanson Roberts deck as well. So yeah, the Connolly Tarot, it said when I googled it, it's a brightly coloured tarot deck reminiscent of medieval stained glass, and it's also described as a very gentle deck. I think some of the cards have been changed slightly in this, and this was created by a mother and son sort of duo of Peter Paul Connolly and Eileen Connolly. So this is 1989, 1990 and 1991. At least that's as far as I'm aware of anyway, because I did see something in this little Hanson Roberts book that said the tarot deck was 1985, but I think that this copy is 1989. But if I've got that wrong, I apologise. But I just thought it'd be interesting because they are all of a very similar time period, aren't they? So so I just thought we'd just go through the deck and have a little look at them. So we've got the Fool here. Magician. They're a bit more cartoon-like, aren't they, these Connolly Tarot ones? I suppose just because the cardstock is slightly shinier as well. The High Priestess. I think I still very much prefer the Robin Wood tarot deck looking at these, but I don't know, this little Hanson Roberts is very pretty. Look at her face. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the Connolly Tarot at the moment. They're all very pretty, aren't they? Look at them with their diadems. Is that how you say it? A diadem on their heads with all the stars. These are very similar, aren't they? And this is very different. She's got her spinning wheel. The Emperor. They all go really nicely together, I think, don't they? All very, very similar for the Hierophant. Very similar. It's just the Robin Wood Tarot with the real nudity here in the Lovers card. Not too much nudity in the Connolly deck. And this one, the Hanson Roberts, look at his face. What's that all about? She looks happy, but he doesn't. What's that about? We don't see any of the angel in the Robin Wood deck, do we? This is very much more pagan, I think. The Chariot. I like all of those, actually. They're all very similar, aren't they? Very, very similar. Like we've got the yin and yang there. We don't see that here. In fact, we don't see the horses there at all, do we? Just the reins. I like that they've all got their banners or their flags with the stars. Yeah. These are all nice, aren't they? Strength. I like that nobody's forcing the lion's mouth open here. She has hold of his mouth, but she's not forcing it, is she? I don't ever like to see that, really. The beautiful Hermit. Look at these. These are really nice. Interesting that these are both facing to the past and he's facing to the future, and he's handing on his staff, isn't he, to somebody else. Do you think that's maybe like he's passing on his knowledge? He's passing on his insights? It's instead of his lantern, isn't it? He's actually got a wand, a staff on fire. Really nice. The Wheel of Fortune. I do very much like this because I like that you can see all the different expressions on their face for where they are on the wheel currently. I like that much more than these sort of very traditional Wheel of Fortune cards. Very similar colours and images here in the Justice card. Also very, very similar with the Hanged Man. Just different clothing in the Connolly Tarot. And we've also got a sort of cherub there, haven't we? otherwise really nice. Death. And in the Connolly Tarot, it's called transition, just to make it very clear to people. I suppose it's a much more gentler way to look at death, isn't it? That it's a transition from one phase to another. Yeah. Interesting though. Temperance. Interesting that we've got a much more masculine looking figure in the Robin Wood Tarot. But otherwise they're very similar, aren't they? Very nice. The Devil. And we've got materialism in the Connolly deck, which I really like actually. For our modern day tarot decks, it's much more relevant than seeing devils, isn't it? How chained we are to all our various attachments and pleasures in life. So I quite like that. The Tower. Oops. The Star. Again, we've got females and then a more masculine figure there. Interesting. The Moon. So we see no dogs in the Connolly Tarot. Did the Connolly Tarot come with a little book? No, it didn't, did it? And the Sun. They're all lovely, aren't they? I like all of these. I love the colours of these. Look at his little face there. Whoops. It's obviously a much smaller size, this Hanson Roberts deck, isn't it? And the cardstock is quite a bit sort of flimsier as well. It's not great cardstock. Judgment. I think out of all of these, I do actually prefer this one, even with the nudity. I just like the you know, the phoenix rising there. I'm not quite sure what the judgment is about in this Connolly deck here. I wish I had a little book for it, but there was no little white book that came with the deck. He's sort of looking away from his family, isn't he? And the World. All very similar. Like those. The Ace of Cups. They're very nice. The colour palette of this Connolly deck is very pretty, isn't it? It's very soft and gentle. Very sweet. I like all the pinks actually here in the cups. That's very nice. So the third person in this Connolly deck is a little cheruby baby type person. They're very sweet. I suppose I wished on the Hanson Roberts they didn't have this here with all the different languages, but hey ho. I think they're all Connolly Tarot's US games. I don't actually know what this little Hanson Roberts one is. It doesn't say on the box. And Robin Wood is Llewellyn. So this is Llewellyn, this is US Games, and I'm not sure what this one is. There's much less harsh emotions in this Connolly deck. It is a much gentler deck. I probably prefer the more emotions, do you know what I mean, for reading with them. You know, these are reading decks, aren't they? They're all Rider-Waite-Smith inspired decks, so they're all easy readers, really. And so for me, I think I like them to show the emotion. We can see some here in this Connolly deck, can't we? They're very sweet, aren't they? Oh, look at their little faces in this deck. It's very cute. All the little primroses. The Seven of Cups. I suppose in this Connolly deck I would have preferred to see what was in the cups, what the temptations were, what the choices were. And also with this deck, with this card, I do very much associate this as being a person walking away from things, which we see in these two cards, but not so much this one. But you still get the feel of it, don't you? That's very much a sort of Jesus-like figure, this one, isn't it? Which is not what I would associate with the Nine of Cups. More these sort of chubby-faced, very self-satisfied men. But the colours are all very pretty, aren't they? Look at that. Look, we've got that rainbow theme through there and also through there. I feel like I know this deck inside and out. I've read with it, played with it, read the book. She looks sad in this, doesn't she? This is supposed to be, you know, ultimate fulfillment, and she looks a bit sad. Like I said, I wish I had the guidebook for that to see if there was a reason they were drawn that way. The Page of Cups. I like that we've got a girl here for the Page of Cups. Ooh. What have I done there? Have I got them mixed up? I have, haven't I? There we go. So the Knight of Cups. Interesting that they're going in different directions, isn't it? Both these two are going to the future, and this one's looking to the past. All the queens are looking in the same direction. What have I done here? I've got these mixed up, haven't I, somehow or another? Let's leave that out for the moment. I'll put that back when... I did do this rather quickly, put them in their order, so I wouldn't be surprised that I've got some wrong. So we've got that again here, haven't we? The Connolly deck, they seem to be looking in a different direction to the other two decks, which again is interesting. We've got it again there, haven't we? The Ace of Swords. They're all pretty cool, aren't they? I like all of those. Let's just put these straight. Yeah, I like all of those. I'm still loving the Robin Wood Tarot the most. I mean, I love how colourful this is actually, but I'm not sure otherwise. I mean, this Two of Swords is a fantastic Two of Swords. I love everything about this. It's one of my, it's not a favourite card, but it's an important card to me. I love that she's surrounded by all this water, all this emotion, yet she's sat up out of it, isn't she? And we can see a similar thing going on here, but in the Connolly Tarot, we don't see any water. We see kind of a choice, perhaps, but that's about it. I like the blindfold, and I like the water. The Three of Swords. Strange, this one, isn't it? The Connolly Tarot with the dark cloud through the swords. So no heart, but a dark cloud that's hanging over this building. The Four of Swords. Again, I do like the knight to be lying down. Yeah. We can see in these cards this kind of delight these people are taking, can't we, in the stealing of the swords. Not quite sure what's going on there. It looks like he's almost begging for that sword, doesn't it? He's got his hands together there. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure actually about this Connolly Tarot, whether I like it or not. The Six of Swords. She's going over a bridge in that one, isn't she? Often we see children in the boat, don't we? But we don't in any of these. I really like, they kind of really go together, the artwork of these two decks, don't they? The Seven of Swords. See, I don't know what is going on here in this card. That to me is not a Seven of Swords, but that both of these are. These are brilliant. I like those. I mean, I can see the dark cloud and the swords and things, but that's not a Seven of Swords for me. The Eight of Swords. I mean, that, you know, he's not blindfolded and he's not tied up, but he's behind a window with lead in the window, so it's like he's tied up behind that window. The swords are in the snow. Nine of Swords. Yeah, see, this is very much how I like to see the Nine of Swords in sort of Rider-Waite-Smith inspired decks. This is more for me. This would more be like, I don't know, it just made me think of the Eight of Cups, of sort of leaving things behind. Or the, what is it, the Nine of Wands, or the Ten of Wands, of carrying burdens. I'm not sure, that just doesn't really work, does it? The Ten of Swords. again, shying away from the pain, you know, the torment of the Ten of Swords. I would far prefer to see the blood and the agony of it, if you like, because, you know, that's often that energy of the Ten of Swords, isn't it? I'm going to have to see if I can find a guidebook or something for this Connolly deck to try and understand. I mean, when I Googled it and I was looking, it did say that it was created to not be so scary, to be a much more subdued and gentle deck, and it definitely is, isn't it? Page of Swords is nice. I like all of these. I particularly like this one because you can see her, you know, the alertness, the movement of her, this sort of agility, the mental agility of her. The Knight of Swords. I like all of those. This artwork really does go together though, doesn't it, of these two? The Queen of Swords. She's probably not as cool and icy looking as I'd like her to be. Or as old, perhaps. I think I always see the Queen of Swords as being somebody more mature. Yeah. But they're all fine. Now the Ace of Pentacles. Do you know, I think this Ace of Pentacles from the Robin Wood deck is one of my absolute favourite all-time Ace of Pentacles. It's beautiful. I love the path down the garden, out into the countryside, under the trees. But this is very pretty as well. The Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I don't see why that needs to be a joker. It's kind of a balancing act, isn't it? I suppose jokers juggle and there's juggling. I don't know. The Three of Pentacles. These are all good cards. I like all of these. Yeah. The Four of Pentacles. I like these all as well. I think these two much more show that kind of miserly, sort of rigid, hanging on type energy. Much more than this one. But still, I quite like all of those. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the Connolly Tarot again. Yeah, I mean, I guess if the little cherub there takes her blindfold off, she might see that things are not quite as awful as she thinks that they may be, that there is help. But yeah, that's not really Five of Pentacles for me. And Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh, quite nice, aren't they? I'm not really sure where there's any sort of giving and receiving type energy here in this crowd of people. But, yeah. These are all nice. I like all of these. They all work for me. Especially this one. Again, I do just love this Robin Wood tarot deck. See, these two are very busy learning their trade, learning their skill, whereas he's just sort of sat there. He looks a bit fed up. He looks tired, doesn't he? Perhaps he's just having a rest in the middle of all his efforts. I don't know. But again, that energy's not quite right, is it? And again with this one, why is she indoors? I like that they're in the garden. It's like she shut herself off from the garden. She's just looking at it through the glass. Yes. And the 10. These are all lovely, aren't they? They're all beautiful. I like all of those. Yeah. The Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Again, I'm liking that we've got girls. It's always interesting, I think, when different creators have people facing different ways, because to me, like I said, to look to the left is to look to the past, to look straight out is possibly to look to the present, and to look to the right is to look to the future, isn't it? Yeah, I like all of these. They all are nice. What do I do with the Queen? There she is. So I would not have put the Queen of Pentacles as blonde for some reason. She's an earth sign, and I don't know, I would have done her with brown hair or black hair, I think. But they're all Queens of Pentacles, I can see that. The same here with the Kings. Very nice. All very opulent. Then we've got the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Rods. Yeah, I like all of those. The Two of Wands. Yeah, they've all got a globe in their hands. They're all looking out and all looking in different directions again, aren't they? How did I get the King of Wands there? Let's sort that out. Put him at the bottom with that. I don't know how I managed to do that. Now I can't get them all nice and straight. There we go. So the Three of Wands. Yeah, they all work for me. I'm happy with all of those. And the Four of Wands. They're all very pretty, aren't they? They're all very nice. The Five of Wands. Again, I'd probably rather see the 5 men in competition, in conflict. I mean, we can see he's got a struggle there. We can see the struggle. The 6 of Wands. Well, we can see that victory. Yeah, I like all of these. I would like to have seen more of the crowd, I think. But yeah. The Seven of Wands. This one I'm not so sure about. What, you know, where is the don't get a major feeling of having to stand his ground against anything much there. Not sure about that. That's a sort of bit of a wishy-washy card, isn't it? The Eight of Wands. These are all fine, aren't they? We can see that kind of movement, emotion. I do like in these two, I think, though, that the wands are all lined up, because that's the idea, isn't it? Is that there's a lot going on, but if you can keep it ordered and keep it in some kind of structure for yourself, it's not chaotic. It's not a chaotic energy, whereas this is somewhat more chaotic, isn't it? So the Nine of Wands. Again, we can see some kind of effort involved with these two, but maybe not so much with him. The Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands, sorry. Again, we can see the burden. We can see the destination, the journey. But he's like it's like he's planting something. He's digging and planting something, which is not really the idea of the 10, is it? It's like he's planting more seeds for more wands. As I said, if I had a guidebook and I could see the reasoning for this, maybe it would work more for me. The Page of Wands, they're all fine. You know, he's in the desert, he's somewhere hot. The Knight of Wands. Again, all looking in different directions, but they're all fine. The Queen of Wands. I like that she's got her black cat. She's got a ginger tabby, which is lovely. They've all got flowers, but daffodils there, not sunflowers, but still they're fine. And the King of Wands. Yeah, he's even got some cats there, look. And the daffodils. I do like on the wands in this that we've got oak leaves, you know, from oak tree growing out of the wands. I do like that. Oak is a very masculine symbol, isn't it? So yeah, let's just turn them over again. So what did you think? I've not seen anybody use or even talk about the Hanson Roberts deck or the Connolly deck, I don't believe. And actually, I don't think I'd seen anybody talk about the Robin Wood Tarot deck either, actually. Although since I've had it out and played with it a bit, other people have said that they do have this deck in their collection. I think they're old decks, aren't they? And we tend to get distracted by new decks, and yeah. But what do you think? Which one is your favourite, looking at them all together? And what do you think about this Connolly deck? Because, like I said, it's very different to the Hanson Roberts and the Robin Wood. everything about it is different, isn't it? And it's interesting that it was, you know, put out at a very similar time. Like I said, this is 89, this is 90, and this is 91. So, yeah. How old does that make them? My son was born in 97 and he's 27. So that makes them nearly 35 years old, doesn't it? If I've just added that up, right? Yeah. So I'm going to be looking for a guidebook, I think, for the Connolly Tarot, if there is one. But I'm happy with the Hanson Roberts. I think it's a cute little deck, actually. I like that it's a sort of smaller deck in your hands. And obviously the Robin Wood I love. So anyway, it's been 40 minutes and I've waffled on enough about these 3 decks. Please do say hello. And if you have any of these decks, let me know how you get on with them, how they read for you, what you think of them. And I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.